Hi, this is Paul Drockton with pauldrockton.com and Drockton Radio, which you can listen to on rensradio.com. And today we're going to talk about the second in the video series, the Henry Makow conspiracy, because literally that's what it's become. And as many of you know, Henry Makow has decided to use his website to literally manufacture lies and libel against once a longtime friend, Jeff Renz. And Jeff has had Henry's articles up on his site for almost 10 years, and the only one that's benefited from that relationship is Henry Makow. In other words, Jeff Renz permits people that write articles to receive revenue on their own websites. He doesn't take their articles and put them on his site. He links back to theirs. So Henry has made a good deal of money thanks to Jeff Renz and a good deal of financial support. So the question becomes, who or what would want to discredit Jeff Renz? Well, first of all, we need to recognize that Jeff Renz has been an ardent supporter of Ron Paul, and that this is a presidential campaign year, and that Mitt Romney stands the most to lose with Ron Paul gaining any advantage. And remember, Mitt Romney needs 50% plus one of the delegates to vote for him in the Republican National Convention, which is coming up in a few months. And the only way he's going to get that 50% plus one is if his opponents don't take 50% plus one combined. And if he fails to get the majority that he needs, then it's going to go to a brokered convention, and my bets are on Jeb Bush emerging as the dark horse candidate. Now, if you take a look at Romney's campaign, it's pretty clear that he's in trouble. This is a guy who lost Colorado, which he easily won 4 years ago against John McCain. He lost Minnesota, which he easily won. Maine is still being disputed simply because of the voting irregularities. And he's got some other tough contests. Now, Jeff Renz has been very favorable to my articles, which have been exposing not just Mitt Romney, but the Mormon Mafia, all the way back to Howard Hughes. And because of this, he has, in my opinion, helped people to understand the truth about the Mitt Romney campaign, which has hurt Romney in some of the key states that he won back in 2008. So my point is, if you take a look at Henry Makow's site, you'll see that he's been writing quite a few articles against Ron Paul, against the libertarian movement, against the founding fathers of the Constitution. And it's pretty clear that there could be a political basis for these attacks. And they're all lies, my friends. I mean, if I began to, or started to address the lies and libel that's appeared on Makow's site, I would be here for probably another hour. I mean, we could start with the libel or the assertion that Jeff Renz built a $100,000 railroad. I can't keep a straight face when I tell you this. A $100,000 railroad on his property. Now, I've seen walking paths on Renz's property, but I'm still looking for this mysterious train that cost $100 grand. Obviously, it doesn't exist. Lies about the number of relationships Jeff's been involved in. Lies about other things. And now, it's pretty clear that the information that Henry is publishing on his website, especially the photos and the images, were actually stolen from Jeff Renz's house. Someone actually broke into his home, it looks like, and stole these pictures and images from his person. And he now is forced to file a police report because one morning, how would you like to wake up and all of a sudden there's pictures on the internet that you thought belonged to you, and now all of a sudden they're out there for everybody. Nothing scandalous or obscene, but still they were stolen. So this is looking more and more like an intelligence, basically a COINTEL, counterintelligence operation, which is designed to benefit individuals like Mitt Romney, first of all. Second of all, Jeff Rense has taken on the nuclear industry. Now, this is probably one of the most powerful industries in the world, and Jeff has maintained through all this that the Fukushima disaster was basically a consequence of faulty construction. It was a consequence of faulty maintenance. It was a consequence of a faulty response after the plant was devastated by the earthquake and the tsunami. The reality is, he's right on all these things. The press, Japanese press, has been very, very critical about the slow response to containing this nuclear disaster. Again, I'm not a physicist or a scientist, but common sense tells me all you needed to do was use lead and concrete to encase this reaction gone bad, like they did with Chernobyl, by the way, and that would have been, at least temporarily, would have put a halt to it. But now we've got all these ridiculous assertions that people are stealing nuclear bombs and riding these nuclear bombs down into a trench in the Pacific Ocean and causing earthquakes and tsunamis that wipe out tens of thousands of people with the hopes of striking one target, which is a nuclear reactor. Obviously, it's ridiculous. And who does it take the pressure off? It takes the pressure off those individuals that build and maintain nuclear plants. Not our fault. This is obviously someone was targeting us, and no matter what we did or how strong we built this reactor, it was being targeted. It was a military target, which is basically BS. See, Japan has 70 nuclear facilities. That's right, 70. And for someone to explode a nuclear bomb at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean to create a tsunami because they want to target one reactor, it's an obscene accusation. And no one in their right mind would even entertain such a notion. Which brings us to the third part. If you take a look at Makow's personal life, one of the things that's come to my attention is that this guy could be easily compromised. First of all, we know, at least I have had it reported to me, that his father, who he's been separated from for quite some time, is getting close to ending his mortal experience, I guess. I don't know if he's sick or what. But here's the problem. Makow needs a good relationship with his dad in order to inherit the millions that his dad has. It's all about money. Now, I can't help but believe that in order for him to get back in with his dad, who's Jewish, by the way, Henry Makow would have to recant all the anti-Zionist things that he's espoused over the years. And I also can't help but believe that this has something to do with the Yakuza, the Japanese mafia, that actually operated these plants and maintained them and apparently built them. And they're not too happy with people exposing structural flaws. Which leads us to Benjamin Fulford, who, by the way, has admitted openly that he's good friends with some very high members of the Japanese Yakuza or Japanese Mafia. And he's traded on that relationship. And by the way, Benjamin Fulford is the one that started this ridiculous assertion that the tsunami that hit Japan was caused by a planned nuclear explosion. It's ridiculous. More in the next video, my friends, because this is just going to open your eyes to how counterintelligence works, how people that are a threat to the establishment real threats like Jeff Friends, like myself, how they have to deal with this. These attacks, these personal attacks, these personal vendettas waged by their enemies. It's ongoing. It's a real war. And you just need to be made aware of what's going on. Again, this is Paul Drockton. Visit my website, pauldrockton.com, and we'll talk more about this in our next video. Have a great day.